Welcome to Mana Drain. This is episode 30. I'm Mox Born Again, also Joe. I have with me my son Eli. Well, I thought I had my son Eli. Holy smokes, my face is huge. Eli, where are you, bud? We're getting ready to get started. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, dude. So what's happening? Put your headphones on so you can partake in the conversation. What's going on? Let me ask. Hold on. I gotta think about this. I gotta ask this the right way. How are you doing?
Good.
There you go. What have you been up to?
Nothing.
Okay, we did it. You got there. All right. Good job, buddy. You got all tangled up here. You got like cords like falling all over the place. All right, so we are live. I apologize for the close-up on my face. That's not supposed to be like that. But our software got updated, and it deleted all my scenes and all my things that make the podcast what the podcast is. And so I think we have everything set up the way we need it to be set up. I want to apologize in advance for any issues that we might have. But this episode, we are going to be talking about what? We're going to be cracking some packs, first off. But on top of cracking packs, we are going to be building a 40-card deck. Much like the ones you would build
in the tournaments.
Yes, the pre-release. So a pre-release, and it's called a sealed deck, right? So you open up 6 packs of cards. There are some tournaments that you have to open, or you don't have to.
3 with me.
Yeah.
And 3 with Daddy.
Yeah. So when you sit back, you're talking to your microphone. You don't have to like jam them in their face. You can you can just hold up right here, and they can see that you have 3 packs. Just hold them next to your face, right? If you hold them next to your face, and your face is on screen, there you go. You got 3 packs. I've got 3 packs. There you go. Back to what I was saying. Normally, you open 6 packs of cards, build a 40-card deck, some of which are going to be land. And
What, Dad?
Yes, son.
What if we don't have enough land?
Well, so that's the thing is you don't have to open the land in the packs. You can use the land that either your tournament organizer provides. Most of the stores will have land stuff to open or give out, or you can bring your own land. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the land that's in here. In fact, that's impossible. But back to kind of what I was saying is normally you open up 6 packs of cards for the third time, but I have heard of these really cool tournaments that you open up a fat pack or even a booster box. So in a fat pack, there's 10 packs of cards. You open all those up and build a deck, and then there is a booster box sealed event where you open.
Look under your face. Look under what
Right,
the words.
Right, it's see-through. It is. Squirrel. So, anyway, you open up a booster box and there's 36 packs in a booster box, and you build a deck out of that. But we're just going to go with the sealed tournament type of standing, and we're going to crack these packs open. So first thing what we're going to do is we're going to explain what we're doing. Please calm down, dude. You need to slow down. You are like on 11. I need you down to like an 8.
Or 9.
No, not a 9. Because that's a close. Perfect. Holy smokes. I got to get this kid some Ritalin. Knock you down a notch. So we're going to go through the steps on how we build decks when we go to our pre-releases and things like that. Now, Unstable is a little bit different because there isn't as much removal, and we'll get into that a little bit. So let's go ahead and switch. We'll see if it works. Is it going to work? Oh, it worked.
Yes!
It worked. All right, so we've got our 6 packs here, right?
Yeah.
6 packs of cards. You're going to open up 3. I'm going to open up 3. So go ahead and open up your cards.
And why there's a tape here?
That's because that was our border. So no longer need that, I guess. So you can tell where not to put stuff. So essentially what you want to do is when you're opening up packs, you want to open them all up first.
And then we're gonna like spread them out.
So go ahead and you don't have to. It doesn't have to be there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull back a little bit so you can see what you're doing because you're hitting the microphone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna organize them by color first. Not gonna really look at what we're getting just yet. We got.
Got a kangaroo.
Yep. So it's gonna get a little sloppy in here because the camera angle is not the best.
There's white.
Yep. So white. I've got artifacts and lands over on that side. So the reason
Do we have a green yet?
green, yep, green right there, and then so the reason why we separate these out too, put those up top. The reason why we separate them out by lands,
What?
that's black, is because you get a better understanding of what your ratio is. Like you don't want to build a deck that doesn't have that you don't have a good pool to pick from. So like if you only have like 10 green cards, you don't want to pick that. You don't want to pick green, right? You want to pick something that has right there. You want to pick something that has a wide selection of, and vice versa. Like if you have like really powerful cards, you may not want to play that card as a full-fledged color. You might want to play that as like a splash color, meaning like there's only like 2 cards in your deck that are of that color. That's blue. That's blue. Remember, we're just looking for color right now. We're not looking for what we're playing, right? We're not looking.
The artifact.
Artifacts are right here. Yep.
Here's my land.
I'll take the land. Put those 2 up here.
But there's
And then I'll take your what you call it?
Okay, my second pack. Another monkey guy.
Yep.
Of course.
So usually what'll end up happening is I will open all my cards first and get organized first, and then as Eli's opening his, I will start to organize his and kind of look at what we're working with here. Now, that's an artifact. Well, that's white. So one of the things that you want to look
I
for.
got 2 lobster guys.
One of the things you want to look for when you're organizing these cards is you want to see what kind of rares you get as well. So that's what we'll do next. Is we probably should have separated out rares too, but that's okay. Huh, okay, cool.
Not ready yet.
Yep, I know you're not ready, so I'm going to start making these packs these piles look a little more clean. Blue, I'll take your blue.
Green. Artifact.
Artifact. Red.
Red.
Artifacts.
Artifact.
Right here. Very good.
Red. Land.
I'll take your land. Those 2 go up there, and then I will take your zombie token.
Oh, that's
All right.
creepy.
All right, so we've got our 5 colors here.
Wait,
Oh, you've got another pack. Oh boy. All right. So while he's opening up this is a land. We won't worry about lands right now. So the one land we got was Secret Base. I think this is. So add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast spells that share a watermark with Secret Base. So
Blue.
don't remember exactly what.
I got it's a spider.
Oh, is it Spider Monkey?
Yeah, with rocks on its head.
Yep. Remember, we're just looking for color right now. So we're
Get the kitten.
there. You go. Yeah. While you're doing this, I'm going to pull our rares to the
Whoa,
top.
we got a big dude. Flying book.
And pull our rares and uncommons to the top, just to see if we've got anything that's like kind of is game winning. Green goes right there. And the thing is with sealed.
Here's my rare.
What's your rare? Blue. Ooh.
And I got a forest thing.
Forest. I'll take your forest.
And another rare.
Okay, that goes up there. So in sealed, one of the things is you want to make sure that you have strong commons and uncommons,
Ooh.
but your rares are going to be your game-winning cards. Those are usually going to be your bombs, the ones that deal the most damage, sway the game in your direction.
Okay, we're ready.
We're ready. Okay, so we're moving these cards to uncommon, rare, uncommon, uncommon, common. So all I'm doing is moving the commons and rares to the top, just so we can kind of see what we're working with here. So what colors do you like to play, Eli? How about let's start there?
Red and blue.
Red and blue. What happened to green?
I don't really like green that much anymore.
Oh boy, that's funny. Okay, you don't like green. You don't like green anymore, huh?
Mhm.
But green has got your favorite dinosaurs in it.
Yeah, but there's some weak guys in there.
Oh, so you don't like green because there's weak guys?
No.
Actually, green has got the most powerful guys,
Oh.
or at least not powerful. The
Well,
highest
there's,
stats worth of cards. Okay, so
um,
let's take this out of your
actually,
hands so you don't have to fidget with that.
I want
Get you a
green
fidget
and
spinner.
I want green and red.
You want green and red. Okay.
Actually, green and blue.
So from this point on, what you would do is you would kind of look at your card selection here, and we have a lot of green. Like we've got a ton of green, we've got a ton of red. Our white is pretty heavy. So from here, what you want to look at is you want to see what kind of commons and uncommons you have.
This is kind of heavy.
So let's see here. So as far as green goes, we've got a couple of these Steamflogger service rep. So whenever another goblin enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, Steamflogger service rep assembles a contraption. So if we wanted to do the contraption route, those would be good because whenever you play a goblin, you can pay 1 extra and boom, you get to put one of those contraptions in play. So why don't you look through the red and pull out all the goblins? Because all the goblins are going to be in the red and the green.
Actually, I want green and blue.
Well, blue's not going to have any goblins in it. So you want blue?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look through. And again, he's just picking colors because that's the colors that he likes. So let's take a look here. Okay, tell you what, let's do it your way. You pick the color of you pick the art that you like the most, and we'll build a deck around that. Generally, what you want to do is you want to look at the card. You're not talking in your microphone; they can't hear a word you're saying.
There's a blocker for 0/4.
Yep. So generally what you want to do, like I said, is you want to look at what cards you have. You want to look at the removal spells you have, which in Unstable there really isn't a lot of removal. I think I read there's like half a dozen to a dozen removal cards. So the basic idea for Unstable is you want to look for creature synergies and things like that. So if we were going to play green, playing the Steamfloggers would be good with other goblins. You want to see if you have a ton of goblins. So he's looking at split cards. So his first one, so this is actually a good one to use, right? So this is the Mirror Man. It costs 5, 1 blue, 1 blue and 4 generic for a 3/3, which is terrible on its own. But when it enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card. But it's one of those host cards, so that means you can host it with another augmented card, which means you can redraw those cards, keep redrawing cards over and over and over again.
Wait, let me see.
Hold on a second here. Which one?
This one.
Okay. So the other card that he's selected is a Wall of Fortune. So it's 1 white or 1 blue, 1 generic, 0/4 with Defender, which means it can't attack or block. It says,
Got a rare.
yeah, I'm trying to read the card while you're handing me cards. So if you tap, you may tap an untapped wall you control to have any player re-roll a die that player rolled. So that's kind of good. I mean, that would be a tap this and re-roll that dice that you rolled 6 on, and now it's a 1, right? So you can have them re-roll. So that's kind of a, damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Our rare was a Clock Napper. It's 3. I should put this over a little bit further. Sorry about that, guys. 3 generic and 2 blue for a 2/2. It says when Clock Napper enters the battlefield, choose beginning phase, pre-combat, main phase, combat phase, post-combat main phase, or end phase, steal that player that phase from target player during their next turn. That phase occurs as though it was your next. Okay, so essentially, you don't steal their whole turn. You steal their, one of their phases. That's not too bad. You can do some shenanigans. Let's see your kindly cognition. Spells you cast that refer to artifacts or contraptions in their rules text cost 1 less to play. So let's see here. You got 2 of those mirror men. That's good. Do any of these mention? Nope, those don't mention artifacts. What, you got octopus here? So the contraption would cost 1 less to play. So this one would cost 1 less to play. So this octopus would only cost 2 if we had kindly cognition out, because the octopus references contraptions. So that's a good synergy. So do you have any other split cards that are in blue? No? Okay. So there's that. Let's take a look at your blue here. Let's take a look real quick. So can only block flyers. Flying is a very powerful ability and limited, so we're going to add that because
There's 2 of those.
There's 2 of those. It's a 2/1 with flying. It can only block creatures with flying. That's fine because this isn't going to be blocking. This is going to be attacking for 2 mana. So that's not bad. So we're gonna take those. So those are all good synergistic cards. Let's see here. So this one says for 4 mana and 2 generic, 5-finger discount is the name of the card. Put target non-land permanent into your hand. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color the next time you would cast this card. So you can put anybody's permanents in their hand. So if they have something that you like, you could steal it. That's not too bad. This is actually a pretty good card in regular limited, stealing creatures and things from other players. The fact that it's non-land permanent means you can steal enchantments, planeswalkers, creatures, artifacts, anything like that. So that's a pretty good card. There's another one of our flyers. Now this is a bomb right here. This is a really good card. Animate Library. For 6 mana, 2 blue, 4 generic, you get to enchant your library. This is the thing that makes your library a however many cards it is. So if you have 30 cards left in your library, this makes it a 30/30. Right? Isn't that awesome? So we'll use it.
30/30?
Right. Whatever cards left are in your library. So let's say this is your library right here. This little thing right here. This stack is your library. You stick this card on top of it like that. Now this stack of cards is a 30/30. Or whatever cards are in that stack. Oop, crap.
Are all 30/30?
Well, no, just that one creature. Just the one creature. And then if enchanted creature would leave the battlefield, exile it and exile it instead. So you
what
can't.
If you have 100 in your...
Then it's a 100/100.
That would be forever. Like it would be like surviving forever.
Alright, slow down there, back up. Alright, so we got our blue cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 blue cards. What other color did you want to pair with it?
Green.
Green?
Yeah.
Okay. So look through there. Tell me what kind of green cards you like in there. So if we're not doing these other ones, we'll kind of set those aside. Normally you would look through all these. You would not just say, I want to play blue and green and then force it. Okay, so we still have to look at artifacts, and we also have to build our contraption deck too. The good news is the 1, 2, 3. We have 3 cards with the little crank symbol from our land, so they share the same watermark. So this card can tap for any mana color of those. So we'll probably end up putting that in our deck. So this is a card you like. So it's a 6/4 with trample. Best in show. For 6 mana. That's okay. That's not too bad. Willing test subject. It's a 2/2 for 3 with reach, and it says whenever you roll a 4 or higher on a die, put a +1/+1 counter on willing test subject. You pay 6 to roll a 6-sided die. That one's okay. We don't have any things that roll dice. So that one you would want to synergize with other cards that roll dice. The one thing I want to look at real quick here, because you handed me this half squirrel, half something. We want to make sure that we have enough hosts to play.
What if it was like this?
So hold on one second. Right, I know that works. But what I'm getting at is this is a very specific kind of card, right? So like you can play this half by itself, right? Because it's the creature version, the host. It says host on it. You're not listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. So the reason why these are okay to play is because it has the host version. So you can play this by itself, right? But if you have this card, you can't play this without having a host card available. So right now we only have 3 host cards. So we want to make sure we have more hosts than augment cards. What do you got here? So this is Joyride Rigger. And it says when it enters the battlefield, it assembles a contraption. So this would be good. I think we should go to the contraption route. We've got quite a few contraption cards in our blue. Not so many dice rolling, so that's not a big deal. So we probably won't do the test subject card. Now this is the goblin. We don't have, let's see here. We don't have a lot of goblins yet. Oh, we have one. Okay, so we have one. So let's see. You've got another one of those Steam Frogger. Yep, there we go. So we've got 3 goblins. That's not too bad. Those might come out if we can't find any more goblins. What else you got on there? Anything good? Remember, we need more of the split cards here, these host cards. So what's this one? This is Eager Beaver. Pay 3. It's a 3/2. You may untap target permanent. That's not too bad, because that gives you an extra land tap. We need to be careful with the cards, dude. This one's like bent to all to craziness. Yeah, that's... Alright. So there's our Eager Beaver. What else you got? Wild Crocodile. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So that's not too bad. Okay, what else you got in there? That's another crocodile. We only need one of those. What else you got? Another Eager Beaver. Really don't need too many of those. If the crocodile would put the land into play, that would be good. Ooh. Or would be better, not good. Would be better. Mother Kangaroo. Okay, so this says roll a 6-sided die, put a number of +1/+1 counters on this creature equal to the result. So that's not too bad. That kind of brings in our monkey test subject. I like that better than the search. Well, I don't know. We'll see. What else you got? Chittering of Doom.
We have 3 of these cards.
Mm-hmm. So it's an enchantment that costs 3 of anything, 1 green. Whenever you roll 4 or higher on a die, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token.
We have 4 of these.
So that goes. So what we're gonna do is these guys. We're gonna set the die rolling ones aside because we only have 3 right now, and we only have 3 goblins. Let's kind of see what you got here.
I mean 4.
No, we only have 3 goblins. That green card's not a goblin. Here, look through the artifacts. See if there's any artifacts you see in there. So Selfie Preservation's 2 mana. Search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it. If there is a tree in its art, put it onto the battlefield tap. Otherwise, put it in your hand. Okay, so these are going to be great for a limited. Hold on one second. I'm still reading, right? So these would be great for limited, especially if you're playing 2 colors. You can definitely kind of catch up. This especially, and we're also in green, so forests are going to have trees, and we're playing blue, which are islands, which hopefully will have trees in it. We'll see. So we'll go ahead and set aside all 4 of those because those are some decent cards. So let's do this. We've got 3 goblins and 3 dice rolls. Let's go there. So we don't need our crocodile then. We can take crocodile because we've got the Selfie Preservation. Okay, so what do you got here? So this is Despondent Killbot. It's a 2/1 for 2. Not too bad. Filler. 2/2 or 2 mana 1/1. Whenever you roll a 5 or higher on a die, it gets +X/+X until end of turn as a result. So we can put that with our die rolls. Okay. So what else do you got? It's another one of this. It's the same thing. What else? So, this is the armchair. What's up, Megan? Yeah, Megan's watching.
Hi.
Here, scooch up. You're not in focus. There you go. So, entirely normal armchair is the name of the card. It says during your turn, if entirely normal armchair is in your hand, you may hide it on the battlefield. So, like, let's say,
Put it under your.
no. Or you could put it anywhere. You could slide it under your mat. You could put it underneath a card. So you can play that, right? And then so you hide it, right? You could pay 0, return it to its owner's hand. Only an opponent may activate this ability, and only if he or she sees entirely normal armchair. And then you could pay 2, sacrifice it, and destroy target attacking creature.
I don't get it. Like, I don't get it because if your opponent sees it.
Well, if they see it, so like if you play it, like let's say you play it underneath your Eager Beaver, right? Oh, I see it. That's the armchair, and then you put it back in your hand. But if you hide it well enough, right, and they don't see it, and they attack, you can sacrifice it, the armchair, and it deals 2 damage to an attacking creature. So that's kind of fun removal. We can definitely put that in there.
Opponent.
2 damage to target attacking creature. So you can only deal 2 damage to attacking creatures, not opponents. Handy Dandy Clone Machine is 3 mana, 2 generic, and tapping it. Create a 2/2 colorless humanist creature token. It must be represented by a unique head and 2 fingers at all times. What? It must be represented by a unique hand and 2 fingers at all times. Or it ceases to exist. So, like this. That's interesting.
Maybe like you do fingers like this.
Yeah, so you have to like put your fingers on the battlefield, I guess. That's strange. We're not playing with that. That's a little too weird. Yes, sir.
Can I
Talking to your.
Can I have the dragon token?
We will hear in just a second. Wow, what you got? What else you got here? So roll a 6-sided die on 3 or lower. Target player adds colorless to his or her mana pool. Otherwise, that player adds 1 mana of any color. Ooh, that's cool. So that's not too bad. So we can have one of those in our deck, and that's a roll die. So that's not too bad. So you got a couple different archetypes. It's the same thing. So we have a couple different archetypes going here. So if we're going with blue green, right? So we have our must adds here. So these are all the blues that we know we want. These are all the greens we know we want, which are just our search cards, and then you picked out this trampler guy. So we know. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 cards, including 1 land. So 14 cards. So generally you want about 23 spells, 17 lands. Generally, if your mana curve is low enough, and we'll get into that a little bit later, you can have 16 or even 15 in some cases. So we've got, what did I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
14.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got 14. So we need about 10 more cards to round out our deck. So if you look at our deck here, so we're not going to play the Killbot. So these are kind of like the 3 archetypes that we've got going for us. I'm not so sure that the augment is the correct path because we only have one of the augment cards. Don't do that. And then here's our goblin card. So we only have 3 goblins. And then that's not going... We'll fine, okay. We have 15 cards. So then our rolling dice archetype is a little bit stronger. So if we need 10 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's kind of the route I would go because we've got an extra... We've got our mother kangaroo, so that'll kind of fit in with those. Although the kangaroo we can play the kangaroo by itself.
Maybe
Right, or we could just put this in here so as it's like a 2-card combo. So possibility. So yes, sir. Talking to your mic.
Can you say the name of it now?
So it's half squirrel, half kangaroo.
Mm.
So half squirrel, kangaroo. So we're not going to do the goblins. We've figured that out, right? So this is the combo that we're talking about. So right now, our archetypes are the split cards, and these are all the cards that deal with dice rolling. But the way they cross over is the mother kangaroo. When she enters the battlefield, you roll a 6-sided die, and she gets +1/+1 for the equal to the result. And then she's a split card, meaning you can augment the kangaroo with half squirrel, half kangaroo. So that means whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, you get to roll a 6-sided die. So that's probably the best option because that's whenever you play a creature, whenever your opponent plays a creature, you're rolling dice. This thing's getting bigger. So that's actually a pretty good combo. So we'll do that. So let's take a look. Go ahead. Do we have any other killbots? Did you look to see? Do we have any more killbots?
Nope.
2. Okay, so let's count how many cards we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we're a little over. We need to shave probably 2 to 3 cards. So this is kind of where this is the next part. So you set all your other cards aside, right? So we're done looking at all these cards. And now we need to look at what's called our mana curve. And I'm going to actually... We're going to zoom out just a little bit here. So we got a little bit more space. Go ahead and let's pull off our border.
Yeah.
So one thing that we want to look at is when we say mana curve, you're talking about what the converted mana cost is of your deck. Like what's the average? So the easiest way to do this is, so you look at your mana cost, right? So 3, that's 5, it's 5, 3. This doesn't cost anything. 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, 4. 3, 2. The armchair doesn't cost anything. That's cool. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, come on. It's probably not going to work. Again, still trying to work out the kinks, guys. Bear with us. Please put that back. Take that off. Yeah, that's not going to work. All right, well, let's go back to, this is epic fail on global proportion. So let's go back to this. So what we're doing is essentially going to round out the show because I'm losing Eli. And I should have known this was a little bit too long of a cast for this type of conversation. So we're looking at the converted mana costs. It's 5. So right now, actually, we've got a lot of small spells, and we're probably right where we want to be. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 2-drops, about 5 3-drops, 1 4, 3 5s, 3 6s, and 1, what is that, 7? 1, or 1, actually 4 5s. So our curve really isn't too hateful. We're a little bit, over the top, the other two things, the other thing that we have going for us is two of our cards don't cost anything. They're augment. One's an augment card, one's a free card. So my suggestion would be, let's see here, we've got our flying creatures. Maybe we take out, instead of having 4 of these self-preservation, maybe we take out 2 of those, because we really don't need, searching for land is good, but we don't need to go over the top with that.
Like, we don't need 4 of them.
Right, you really don't need 4. They're not creatures, so they're not going to play into our 2-card combo with our half squirrel, half kangaroo deck or combo. We want to be able to steal somebody's cards. I like the Mirror Man draw cards. That's a good combo. How about we take out, because we essentially have 7 5 or more mana costs. So out of these 2, so let's say let's keep the Clock Napper because we want to be able to steal out of these 3. Pick one to get rid of. Do you want to get rid of the 6/4 creature that just has trample? This is the creature, the Animate Library, that lets you make your library into whatever it is, power toughness. So if there's 10 cards in your library, it's a 10/10. And then this lets you put target permanent from anybody owns into your hand. So this lets you steal something. Which one do you want to get rid of? The stealing one? Okay, that's fine, because we actually have one that steals cards already. And it's cheaper. Okay, so that kind of should have shaved us down to 23. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23, perfect. So that's not too bad. 23, so we'll add 17 land, and that'll get us to 40. So the way you figure out how much land you want, or what color of land you want, and there's a couple different ways to go about this. Some people add up the mana costs or whatever, like the colored mana, divide it by a certain number, come up with a number. I usually say, since we're doing 17 land, I try to make it into a ratio, like off the top of my head. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 blue mana symbols and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green mana symbols. The only thing that you would have to look out for is double mana symbols. So like if something had 2 blue or 2 green, which we have a couple of those cards, but they all cost 6 or more, right? So by the time we get to 6 mana, or 6 mana, I'm hoping that we have 2 forest and or 2 green, or 2 islands, which we probably will. So we don't have to worry about that. So if you've got 17 land slots, you can probably go like 8, 8, 9, 8. 10. What?
8, 10.
Well, that's 18. You need 17. We need 17 lands. So we could do, if we did 8. If we did 8 forest and 9 islands, that would be a good mix. We have more 2 drops in 2 and 3 drops in the blue than we do in the green, so that's something to kind of account for. You want to make sure you hit your blue land first. And then the other thing that's nice is we do have a couple search for land cards. We've got a couple cards that let us draw cards, so that's a positive.
Stealing cards.
And 1 stealing card. But I'm talking about the early game. You want to make sure that you're playing cards early. That way you can defend off your attackers. You have limited is won by cards on the battlefield. Like, that's the easiest thing I can say. Is if you're playing cards on the battlefield and they're staying on the battlefield, you're winning that game. So it's when you miss land drops, when you miss 2 and 3 drops on those turns, when you start to fall behind. So I feel like we've got a pretty good deck here. It's not going to be winning any pro tours or anything like that, but I feel like we've got a good mix of cards. We've got a couple flying creatures, which is okay. I usually like to have somewhere between 4 and 5 flying creatures, but we only have 2 when we're playing both of them.
It's only that 2/1.
Yeah, the 2/1 flyer.
Book flying.
Yep. So, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. We've got some cost reduction for our contraptions and artifacts, so that's pretty good. Right? And we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. That's not too bad. So it's a lot of fun. So we're going to end it there, guys. Again, apologize for the camera malfunction again, but we will get there eventually. Eventually, we will get there.
Next time, let's try to make it all of the way.
All the way without a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/72DPI online. Get subscribed, leave us a comment, tell us what you think about the video. This was a little unorthodox because the unsets really aren't, they're more for drafting and less for sealed events. I think maybe if we did this for like the upcoming Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan, it might be kind of fun. We'll see. But yeah, I liked it. It was kind of fun. Then also, if you want to watch us live on every Monday, yesterday we were a little overwhelmed with Sawyer, but if you want to watch us next Monday, we won't be here because it's the week of Christmas, so we're not going to record any shows next week. But the following Monday we'll be on twitch.tv/72DPI online. For those of you guys watching on Facebook, we really do appreciate it. Make sure you head over to our YouTube page. That's one big thing I can't stress enough. We really need to get more subscribers. So head on over, get subscribed, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
See you guys.